What's going on, everybody? Ryan here. First of all, we want to thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you're watching on YouTube or listening on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify. But we want to... Jhett's looking at me saying something. We want to thank you for listening. We throw a lot at you this week. We got Heisman talk. We got Week 1 preview. We have individual awards. And we have just an amazing show for you guys. So be sure to check it out on all the platforms. Help us out and submit some reviews, comment, like, subscribe on YouTube, download and share on Spotify, and add this to your Apple Podcast library. Without further ado, cue the intro. Let's go.
I'm going to edit it tonight. I'm going to give it my best shot.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready to go.
Hello and welcome to the Hoosier Network College Football Show. I'm Ryan Canfield, as you see me, and that's Jhett Garrett. Jhett, how we doing today?
You know what? I'm ready to talk a little football. Week 0, there were things left to be desired there for some fans, maybe. For myself, I loved Week 0, but now we're getting into the big time.
See, listen, like, when people talk about, like, comparing, like, meals to sports, like, okay, Week 0 was, we got our drinks. Thursday, Friday, that's the appetizer. Saturday is the full course meal. And Sunday and Monday, that's the dessert. So we just had our drinks. The waitress is coming around to get our order. And I am ordering Utah. Even
if Cam Rising, even if Cam Rising isn't playing, you still believe that because we're looking at the Utah-Florida game.
Wait, we still have a little bit of an intro to go.
Well, I thought you were talking about Utah. I thought
so. We're just going to go a little intro here real quick. First of all, how you doing?
I'm feeling good. Like I said, ready for football tomorrow. Unless you're seeing this Thursday, then tonight. But we're recording this Wednesday.
This is our first episode, I hope, to be on video. You promise that you can get this out.
I promise.
Okay, well, there you go. Hi, YouTube. Say hi to YouTube. Give me wide.
Go wide shot.
Hi, YouTube.
We got it all around here.
I think this is the IU Sports Media YouTube. Subscribe, like, and subscribe.
We're here.
And actually, we're now on Apple. And Amazon. Spotify, Amazon, Apple, YouTube. It's all coming together, man. All before Week 1 officially starts.
That's a win in itself, I think, getting
I'm
it
so
out
happy.
before Week 1.
I'm really happy. And I also got my glasses. I finally got my glasses. I left my glasses in D.C., and it took a while, but I finally found out how to enter the mailroom of my apartment complex. And, yeah. Dude, I'm so excited. Like, this is what we dream of. Like, that Week 1 hype. I know people say what you want about all the non-conference games, but nowadays there's so many other games on other weekdays and weekend days, like Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Friday. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy.
Don't let Canny fool you. He was asleep on the 3rd drive of the game during Notre Dame Navy.
That's Navy's fault.
Saturday.
That's Navy's fault. Okay, we ready to get into games?
I'm ready to go.
So, real quick, a rundown of what we're going to do today. I have it on my computer real quick. Let me check it out. We have game previews, and then we're going to do individual award predictions, and then do we want to do a playoff and national champion? Because there's so many teams. There are so many teams, and there are just so many combinations. There are so many destinies that need to be decided.
I don't know. I didn't prepare for college champ. I mean, I know one team that I'd have in there, but other than that, I don't really know. I don't know who my second team would be.
3rd or 4th? You just know Notre Dame's a shoo-in.
Yeah, I know Notre Dame's there no matter... No, I'm kidding. I was thinking of Georgia.
See, I'm not... Oh. Okay, all right. I apologize for talking like this into my mic, because I thought you were talking about Notre Dame. All right, we ready to get into this?
I'm ready to go. Let's hop right in to... Are we starting Coach of the Year?
I thought we were doing game previews first.
We're doing game previews, then awards.
Yes.
Okay, game previews it is.
Game number 1, Thursday. August 31st, correct?
Yeah.
7 o'clock on ESPN. The Utah Utes welcome the University of Florida Gators. This is going to be a great game.
100%.
I'm just so excited. Utah comes into this game minus 4.5. The over-under set at 44.5. Let me know what you think about this game, Jhett.
Well, the game has become more interesting. I think initially, you're looking at Florida going into Utah. You're looking at them going into Rice-Eccles Stadium in Salt Lake City, and you're thinking Utah is going to win this by 1 million. But now there's a massive question mark, and Kyle Whittingham won't say, but is Cam Rising going to play? From what I've been hearing in their interviews and all that, he said on Monday in an interview that he feels good. Still going to be a game time decision. It's interesting. I still Bryson Barnes, I think, would be the backup quarterback, or I think would be the guy that plays if Rising doesn't.
Yeah, and this is a ridiculously true fact. Cam Rising has gotten hurt in both Rose Bowls that Utah has played the last 2 years, and Barnes has backed him up, and they have not scored many points when Barnes was in.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not.
Yeah. So if Bryson Barnes is in this game, I like that. I like that under. I still think Utah wins. There is no scenario where Utah loses this game. I'm just there. I'm there. There is no way Utah loses this game. I am so out on Florida. I don't care how good their running backs are. I don't like Graham Mertz at all. Billy Napier is a good coach, but once he gets his his third true recruiting class in, then they'll be good. But as of right now, Witt is one of the more consistent coaches in college football, and it's not even close. You see, when you look at consistency, you see Saban, you see Kirby, you see Kyle Whittingham. I'm not even gonna put Harbaugh up there yet.
Well, I think
Excuse me, but Witt is that guy, and Cam Rising is that guy. When healthy, Cam Rising could be a Heisman finalist.
But it's a big when healthy, and I think regardless of if Cam Rising is playing in this game or not.
I'm switching my mic. Turn my mic off. This is not working. Hold on. I'm switching seats.
Okay,
Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. I think regardless of if Cam Rising is playing in this game or not, I believe that this should be a get the ball to Jaquin Jackson and run the ball down Florida's throat. Florida last season gave up 175 rushing yards per game. They were ranked 99th in the country in rushing yards allowed. Jaquin Jackson in his last 3 games, 117 yards and 3 touchdowns against Colorado, 105 yards and 2 touchdowns against USC, 81 yards and a touchdown against Penn State. Jaquin Jackson can lead this offense, I believe, to a victory here against Florida.
You got me? Okay, you got me. Okay, listen. I'm standing because I love this game so much. And you see, if you follow me on Twitter, which you should, at RPC versus the World, you know that if you see my feed, I'm hyping up Utah. I'm hyping up Utah for this game. I follow a lot of Utah people. I just love this game a lot, and I love Utah a lot this year. Cam Rising's got to play for this game to be out of reach physical for Florida. Cam Rising has to play this game. But if he doesn't play, I think it will be close. I do think Utah will cover that 4.5 without question.
You mean Florida will cover the 4.5?
Sorry. Utah will cover that 4.5.
You mean Florida will cover the 4.5?
No, they won't. They just won't.
Oh, you think if Cam Rising plays,
regardless of Cam plays or not,
Utah covers.
Utah will cover.
Okay.
They'll win it with the run. They'll win it with Jaquindon. And the thing is, if Bryson Barnes can just get the ball out to Devon Vele or Monty Parks, this game's over. Like Florida can score points with their running backs. They can get yards with their running backs. But I'm so out on Graham Mertz, it's not even funny. Yeah, Ricky Pearsall will probably be in the NFL next year, but I just don't like it at all for Florida. Utah brings a lot of great guys back on defense, which we've already talked about, but some guys, Connor O'Toole, Junior Tafuna, this team's loaded, and I love this team a lot. And that Rice-Eccles is going to be popping. I just put it on Twitter earlier. Rice-Eccles will be popping. I'm just trying to get this mic up here.
Well,
Go ahead.
I would agree with. I don't know. I do think that for some reason I'm hesitant to say that if Cam Rising is not playing, that this will be a lock for Utah. But at the same time, I just think that the Florida run defense is so bad. Bryson Barnes doesn't have to be an unreal guy. He doesn't have to throw for 4 touchdowns, 300 yards. You just got to keep the ball in the Utes' hands. And that's what's going to come down to. But I still think Cam Rising is going to play. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know. I think Cam Rising will play, and I hope so because, like you said, I'm pretty high on this Utah team as well. If you take the -4 right now, and it turns out Cam Rising plays, that might be a pretty good bet.
So the thing is, like, I just don't buy Florida at all, and I just think, like, if Florida wants a chance, like, sure they can win the game, but, like, if they just want a chance, they need Cam to not play. And Cam says it himself. He says, quote, he's feeling pretty damn good. But Witt refuses to comment, so yeah, I just think that if Cam plays, Utah wins this game by maybe 3 scores. I'm that out there on Utah. I'm that out there on their fan base in Rice Eccles Stadium. I'm out there on Witt. Their defense is good. Their receivers, yeah. Are we good?
Yeah.
Are we good on this game?
Yeah.
All right, game number 2 on Thursday in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The Nebraska Cornhuskers go to Huntington Bank Stadium. Is that what it's called now? I know it was TCF Bank, but now it's Huntington Bank Stadium to play.
TCF Bank Stadium.
I think that's wrong.
Then maybe it is. I don't know.
I really do think that's wrong. Anyway, Minnesota and Nebraska. Matt Rule's first game as head coach for the Huskers. I know we talked about this when we were last here, but some breaking news out of the Nebraska program. Arik Gilbert was caught on video, and he was caught by the police. He was arrested and taken to jail after stealing vapes from, what was it, SJ's
I don't know what exactly.
Vape and Liquor.
Just a...
I had a medical issue that I had to attend to last night, so I was up for a long time. I dove deep into this story. So he was stealing vapes and products totaling $1,600, I think. And, yeah, not good for Arik Gilbert. Not good for... Because he was a very promising player when he was at LSU. I was watching his highlights from LSU in 2020. He's an unreal player. And I didn't even know this, that he wasn't even going to be playing at all because they didn't have his transfer waiver.
Was that... I knew that there was a guy in college football that was a pretty big name that didn't get the transfer waiver. So maybe it was him. Silly. Just silly. That's a good word. Silly. Just what are you doing?
I don't know, man. But... yeah, so that's all about Arik Gilbert. Matt Rule, I love as a coach. I think he's going to resurrect this program to just levels among, like, Tom Osborne type levels. I'm not saying national championships, but I'm saying they're going to be held at that pedigree with Matt Rule, who's a great coach. I don't care that he didn't work out in the NFL. He's a college coach. Like, John Beilein is a college coach. I don't know why I'm talking about John Beilein, but coaches don't work out in the pros, and Matt Rule is one of those. Matt Rule and John Beilein are both coaches that do not work out in the pros.
I think just looking at this game here, this is going to be. I think this is going to be a decent game.
Decent? This game's going to be awesome. What are you talking about?
Well, I just can see. Well, in Nebraska, I know they usually do play in close games. Last year, lost by a touchdown to Minnesota, but I think this year, I'm going to take Minnesota in this game. I think that Sean Tyler is a really good running back, the Western Michigan transfer. I really like him a lot. And Nebraska's run defense last year was ranked 108th in college football. So I think just run it down their throats. Now, obviously, it's tough to say that with a completely new system and scheme and all that, whatever. But I will say that in regards to just looking at last season, I think that this run defense, there are holes in it, and I think that Minnesota's game plan should be run the ball down their throat. And
Nebraska's game plan or Minnesota's game plan?
Minnesota should just run the ball down their throat.
Okay, here's what I have to say about these new transfers for Minnesota. I'm not sure if this contradicts with the timeline of PJ at Western, but were these Sean Tyler and Corey Crooms recruited by PJ? I don't think so, because he's been at Minnesota for 7. This is his 7th year now, which is absolutely crazy. That's insane. Like, it shows you how old I am. But if there's a transfer running back out there that came from I'm sorry, outside of Carson Steele, if there's another running back that is coming from the group of 5 not D1, coming from the group of 5 to the Power 5, it's Sean Tyler. He's a monster. And I'm not special or anything, but I saw these guys play when they were at Western, and Corey Crooms is up there too. And they got Chris Ottman-Bell coming back. Brevin Spanford will be an NFL draft pick. This team returns a little bit on the offensive line. Tyler Nubin on defense. They got my buddy Tyler Stolsky. I don't know if he'll be playing, but shout out T. Stolsk. Portage Central. 2022 graduate at Minnesota. He won't be playing, but just wanted to shout him out there. I like Minnesota in this game, and that's not to discredit anything from Nebraska. It's just that Nebraska doesn't have those resources yet, and as I said, they'll get there with Matt Rule. They have so much resource. They have so much money. They have a lot of donors. As we talked about last time we were here, about the sellout thing, where they would buy tickets to sell out the stadium, even though no one would be sitting in those seats. So, it will come for Nebraska. Jeff Sims, I like a lot. Anthony Grant, I like a lot. But, if they had Trey Palmer, this would be a lot different. But Trey Palmer is playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I believe, correct?
So, I don't know.
Okay. That's Nebraska.
I like the Minnesota defense.
Let's take a look at this line here. I'm sorry. I just have to bend down and go to my computer because my computer goes idle after like 2 minutes.
I also really like, I just said it, I like the Minnesota defense a lot. A top 10 defense last season. I think they lost Jordan Howden and Terrell Smith. Tyler Nubin, though, safety, I think is first round talent going into the season for the draft. This is still going to be a pretty decent defense. Maybe not as good as it was last year, but I still think that they are going to have a very good year. You know what? I think that they're going to beat Nebraska pretty badly.
Pretty badly, you say? I'm going to sit down again. I don't know what's going on with these mics, man. These mics have just not been staying up. That's okay, though.
Let's get the kids sitting down.
Let's get sitting. Let's get to sitting. Yeah, I like Minnesota in this game. And as I said, not anything against Nebraska. It's just not their time yet. And who knows? Maybe Minnesota is bad this year and this win doesn't matter in the long run, but I think Minnesota wins this game. They come in favored -7.
Would you take the points as well?
Yes. I do like that a lot.
I'm on the fence about it because, again, Nebraska was very known last year for keeping games close. But
last year and 2 years ago, that's Scott Frost though.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna take the points as well. I'm gonna take the points as well because I don't think that Nebraska's gonna score very many points this season.
I take the points off my card. Give me the under 42.5. Give me the under. I like defense in this game. I have no idea about the points. I don't know about the points, but give me the under here.
Okay, I like that. I like that a lot.
All right, next game. Let me go back to my doc. This is a game we don't need to talk about that much, but Central Michigan goes to East Lansing and plays Michigan State. I just put this in here because it's a game to watch. It's a Big Ten team playing on Friday. I don't know all the teams that are playing on Friday, but there's nothing too crazy on Friday. There's no Florida-Utah on Friday. Louisville plays Georgia Tech, and that's really it. So, yeah, those are two games you can look out for, Louisville, Georgia Tech, Central Michigan, and Michigan State. For this MSU game, I think this is a good chance to see what we can do or how we can assess Noah Kim. I think this will be a big time game for him just to see what he's capable of. I know you like Noah Kim a lot, correct?
I do. I think he's going to have a pretty good year, and I think that you give him Fitzpatrick and Foster Mosley to throw to. I really do think that he's going to have a pretty good year this year. I was high on him in my Big Ten quarterback rankings, which not to the amusement of many others, but I still do believe that he, at the end of this year, we're going to look back at Noah Kim and say, man, that's a top 7 quarterback in the Big Ten. I do believe that very much.
I don't hate that either.
I just think that I think he's got so much talent. I think he's got all the talent in the world. He's a junior, and I think he's going to be in Michigan State for this year, next year, and I don't know eligibility wise how it's going to play out, but I really do like him a lot this year. Obviously, I like Michigan State in this game. What's the spread on this game, Kenny? Because it's probably
a lot.
the battle for the state of Michigan.
Whatever.
Is
14
gonna
and
be
a half. Michigan State is favored. The over-under is 45 and a half.
I would probably, I don't know. I would think about taking the over in that game.
I like the over a lot. There'll
like
be a
the
lot
over.
of offense. Like, see, whenever Michigan State plays a non-conference game, I've been watching this team a long time, and I know that they always play their games, their first game of the season on Friday. They have an early bye. That's how it usually has been. I'm not sure about the early bye. However, how this game is going to go, I'll tell you how this is going to go. The score will be about 17-6, 17-10 at halftime. There's 27 points right there. Michigan State will pull away and win this game by 20 points. I'm not going to say 20, but by like a score and a half. So like a touchdown in the field goal, 13 points. But this over will hit. I do like this offense.
Yeah, I think
In this game.
I agree.
I'm not saying I like them a lot, but in this game, I like this offense.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this is Michigan State's going to pull away late.
Yeah, that's how it always happens. All right, but regardless, fire up chips. Next game, I was actually just sent a graphic on Snapchat from one of my good friends. Here are some games that we can just mention real quickly. Fresno State at Purdue. That's a game that will be played. UTSA, or as people know them as the University of Texas San Antonio Roadrunners, will go to Houston and play the Houston Cougars in their Big 12. Would you say Big 12 debut?
I actually covered that game on my other podcast, Off the Tracks. Go check that out on YouTube.
No free ads. No, I'm kidding. No, please go subscribe to Jhett's podcast. It's really great.
We kill it over there. But definitely covered that game. I think that's going to be a very good football game.
Are you saying that I don't know ball because I didn't have
Nope.
it in our running doc?
Yeah, I am actually. Frank Harris is a dog, and I'm
I
tired
know
of
he
the,
is
I'm
a
tired
dog.
of the Frank Harris disrespect
There's no
on
disrespect there.
on this channel.
And also another game we're not going to be talking about on here, Boise State at Washington. I feel like that's just going to be a blowout for Washington. Boise State's not what they used to be. All right, next game is
Here we go.
Michigan and East Carolina. Not much to talk about here. However, this is a quick tidbit for everybody out there. The last time Michigan played the debut game on a brand new network, or the first time the conference is being covered on this network, Appalachian State, Michigan, 2007, I believe.
So feed me East Carolina money line is what I'm hearing.
I do like the points. I like the points for ECU. This is a tough opponent, and people are gonna be like, "Oh my God, the Michigan fan talks about their schedule and all that stuff." 35.5 points. You kidding me? I'll take Eastern Carolina. They made the
You're saying for them to no, they definitely. You think East
they
Carolina
made the
will cover the
conference
points?
championship last year.
Well, sure, but to call them a tough opponent's a little as a stretch.
It's a tough. I mean, this is a college basketball term, but it's a tough mid-major.
Yeah, but the difference between basketball and
Basketball,
and
anything
football
can happen. Yes, you're
is
correct.
Football, you've got 100 pounds of difference.
I don't know, man. I'm not going to be watching much of this game as I digress, but I'm going to have to leave my apartment at halftime to get to Memorial Stadium. We'll circle back to that game in a little bit. Michigan, Eastern Carolina. I like Eastern Carolina plus 35.5.
That's all I mean, I like Eastern Carolina. Ooh, actually, I'm going to take Michigan's points. I'm going to take the 30.
Really?
No, 35 and a half
Really?
is too many
That's
points.
too much. That's
35 and a half is too
that's
many
a
points.
lot.
Give me East Carolina
That's
to cover.
a lot. This is a big time. This is a big time stat pad game for Blake and Dono and JJ. If they need to get those stats up to get in that Heisman race, these 3 games against these non-conference opponents would be ideal for that. Okay, next game. Oh, another game that we can talk about real quickly. Virginia going to Nissan Stadium to play a neutral site game against Tennessee. Screw neutral sites. All games between Power 5 non-conference opponents should be played on campuses.
Agreed.
So shout out the athletic departments of the University of Florida and the University of Utah. Tennessee minus 27.5. I think Tennessee smashes this over by themselves, 56.5. Virginia is not very good.
No,
Tennessee-
Virginia would
Tennessee
be
is
pretty
good.
bad. Virginia is going to be pretty bad this year. But
Joe, if you're listening, please go off, King. Let's go. Joey Heisman, baby.
I think Tennessee is going to be pretty good this year. I'm higher on Tennessee than I think maybe a lot of guys are, and I'm higher on Joe Milton than a lot of guys are probably. But I think that's going to be a pretty good team this year.
All right, next game is... Do you want to say it? You just whispered it to me, but I don't know if it was picked up because it seems like you love this game. And so do I. I love this game.
I do love this game. Listen. So
Say it into the mic. They didn't pick that up.
Colorado TCU. I thought you said that.
I didn't
Whatever.
say it.
Colorado.
What matters is that this game will be on Big Noon kickoff at noon Eastern on Fox. Joel, Gus, Jenny will be there. This is not a Fox ad. I don't know why I said that, but this is going to be a great game. This is going to be a good game.
I agree. I think it's going to be a better game than what people are making it out to be, and what honestly we originally had made it out to be.
I agreed. I'm coming down to earth.
I'm coming down to earth as well. So I did my top 25. If you don't follow my TikTok at Jhett.Garrett, I did my top 25. TCU is not in my top 25. I don't think this is a top 25 team. However, I do think they're better than Colorado. I think that Chandler Morris won the starting job last season, coming back this year. They got really no choice. TCU is favored by 21.5 points. I think Colorado will cover that with ease. I think this Colorado team is a lot better than, again, what we were initially making it out to be. Deion Sanders' show's over, though. It is time to see the product on the field. 50 transfers were brought in. I thought it bolstered the defense. I thought it bolstered the offense. Is this team going to compete for the Pac-12? No. Is this team going to compete for a 6-win bowl game season? I think it's in the cards. I think that schedule is pretty tough. Did the Pac-12 preview had them winning 3 games, but Big Noon kickoff on a Saturday. I'm
in Fort Worth.
I'm intrigued by this game. The more I look into this game, the more I'm intrigued by it. I think TCU will win. I'm picking TCU to win. However, I think that Colorado will cover.
20.5?
21.5.
It's 20 now.
It's 20.5. Well, when I did it yesterday, it was 21.5. 20.5. I still think Colorado covers that.
I agree.
And I think that this is a game. If it's close there in the fourth quarter, I don't know. It could get away from the Horned Frogs.
Would I be shocked if Colorado wins this game? If you would have asked me this like a month and a half ago, I would have said 100% yes. Now, probably not. I want to mention something real quick, though. Yesterday on Twitter, Travis Hunter was screen capped on his Twitch channel talking about the current Heisman preseason rankings. I think he said, I didn't hear any volume, but I just saw from the tweet that says 1, Travis Hunter, 2, Shedeur Sanders, 3, Caleb Williams. I think Bo Nix was at 4 too. And people are going off on Travis Hunter like 1, get off Twitch. 2, don't talk about yourself at this high level. 3, number 2 is your quarterback. Why are we getting on him? Why are we getting on him for having a overdose of confidence? I think that's absolutely stupid.
I do too. I think that the idea that I'm to sit here and say that, No,
I was the number 1 overall recruit 2 years ago, but no, I'm not going to have a good year. Why? You just want, that's dumb. That's dumb.
And if there's a genuine argument, if Travis Hunter's playing both sides of the ball, he's playing receiver and he's playing corner, and he has a good year both ways, it's got to be tough to leave him out. Shedeur Sanders very well could be a Heisman candidate as well. I don't see why he can't be. Colorado might not have a great year, but I think Shedeur Sanders is going to have a phenomenal year. I think that you can leave him in there. But it's just the people that get mad about what people say on Twitch and things like that. It's just, man, this is something that I really hit home. Social media does not matter. It does not, Travis Hunter, the cool thing about what Travis Hunter just said is people are going to forget about that in 2 days and they're going to be on something else.
The thing about this new era is that people would say those things in their brains to themselves, to their teammates 20 years ago. And nowadays, you're just hearing it to a broadcast that could be sent anywhere. That's what really, for me, there are pros and cons of this NIL era. That's one of the cons that, really hurts these players. And this is a 2020 term, but all these boomers out there that don't realize that these kids have opinions and that these kids, can do these things nowadays, like stream on Twitch or have NIL deals. So that's really unfortunate, and good for Travis Hunter having an overdose of confidence. Good for him.
I agree.
I'm not the biggest Travis Hunter guy. I don't think he'll be, sure he'll be a good NFL player one day, but This year, I don't think will be his year, but good for him. Because who cares what I have to say?
I think he's going to have a great year. We forget this guy was the number one in his class, committed to Florida State at one point. Like, this kid's not just some JUCO FCS guy. Like, he can compete at a Division I level. He's been under Deion Sanders.
He is the guy. All right, we good here?
Yeah.
Let me log back
Let's
in
talk
here.
about this bloodbath that's going to be down the street from us.
In what connotation?
In the connotation of Indiana's winning by 4 touchdowns. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, listen, this next game is Ohio State comes to Memorial Stadium and plays Indiana. Listen, I've had enough of people talking about Indiana and how they're just a shoo-in to lose this game. Screw me for having confidence in this team, but this is why you play the game. This is why you play the game.
Yeah, no, I'm all for it, man. You can have all the confidence you want, but, man, you can have confidence doesn't mean anything, or confidence means everything until you step on the field, and then it's, this is actually happening. We actually have to play Ohio State, arguably the best team in the country.
You know, just my fear about this is that I'm a biased Indiana student saying that this game is going to be close. And, I mean, I just don't like giving this team, like, no credit. Because there is stuff to be excited about this year if you're an Indiana fan, an Indiana alum, or students like us. I just feel like, yes, Indiana will not win this game. But we will see stuff that will be optimistic in this game. I don't care if it's in the first half, if it's in the beginning of the second half, or if it's in garbage time. I'm just ready to see Cam Camper back on that field, man. I was listening to the beginning of the Pack the Rock podcast. Shout out to Carlo, Kylie, and Audrey. Go subscribe to their podcast. They're talking about how Cam Camper was up there with Charlie Jones as a leading receiver in the Big Ten. If whoever the quarterback may be, is it Brendan Sorsby, is it Taven Jackson, if they can just get that ball to Cam Camper and just let his talent go roam, I just feel like people are underrating this team a lot. And I know I'm a student of this school. People say that I only care about Michigan. That could not be any far from the truth. I love this team. I love these players. I love Tom Allen. And I'm just ready to be in that stadium, man. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great.
It's just going to be a fun day, I think, from tailgating to getting in the stadium to watching the game. You know, I'm a kind of guy of, you know, will IU win this game? No. But is it going to be cool to see Ohio State playing? Yeah. Like, that's the great thing, I think, about going to a Big Ten school is I get to sit here, I get to watch, you know, the Penn States, the Michigans, the Ohio States. Now Wisconsin's kind of on the come up. Iowa's a top 25 team. People are saying that, you know, Minnesota and Maryland could get there. I get to see these guys play, and that's what I really like a lot about, you know, going to a Big Ten school is you get to see these guys play. Now, do I want to see my team be up there with the likes of, you know, a top 25 team? 100%. But Cam Camper is I don't think that's far off at all. I mean, he's going to be the best receiver here. If Taven Jackson's throwing the ball, who's his favorite target going to be? Whether it's Sorsby or Jackson.
What I'm trying to say is that there's talent here. There's talent here, and there are just guys that can't go on the field with Ohio State. They're in the same conference. And just sometimes listen, I'm looking at this camera right now. I am unapologetically expressing my hope for this team. And if it backfires, it backfires. So what? No one expects this team to be good. But I'm telling you right now, I'm hopping on this train. I'm ready.
I love it.
I'm ready to ride this team all the way to the Vegas Bowl. No, they won't beat Ohio State. No, they won't beat Michigan. No, they won't beat Penn State. But there are games on here that they can win where they can go to a bowl game. I'm confident in these players. I'm confident in this coaching staff that this can happen. Like, they're just names on here that I'm ready to go see play. Like DeCuse Carter, or however you say his name. I apologize. Andre Carter on the other side. Kobe Minor, Noah Pierre, Jalen Lucas. Basically, like, the players that we know are back, and we know that they are capable of being good, and players that we don't know yet. So I'm just, in EJ Williams also in that category too. I'm just ready to go see these guys play. I'm excited.
I will definitely say that this year there is definitely more of a, I can't wait to go watch these guys play. Last year, did I really care about Connor Bazelak? No. I cared about Dason McCullough, and that was really about it. Everyone else, I was kind of like, you know, this year, I'm ready to go watch. I want Taven Jackson to be the quarterback. I've been I feel like outspoken about that. I want to go watch Taven Jackson play. I want to see Jalen Lucas run the football. I want to see Josh Henderson run the football. I want to see Cam Kemper get the ball in a one-on-one scenario. I want to see that happen more than anything. So and Andre Carter, I've been very outspoken about how much I love Andre Carter here on this team this year. So there is definitely more of I can't wait to go watch this team this year than there was last year. But I will most certainly at the 3:30 kickoff be watching Notre Dame on my phone. So,
okay, listen. This game opens up as Indiana's a 29.5-point favorite. What do you think about this?
Oof. That's a tough one.
I'm sorry, 29.5-point underdog. Sorry.
Yeah, I knew what you meant.
Well, I mean, I just want to correct myself.
I'm gonna let you go first because I don't know yet.
I don't know yet either.
See, after everything that I just said about having hope and optimism, is that going to go straight down the tubes and say that Ohio State is going to cover a 30-point spread? I digress. I think Indiana covers the spread. I really do.
30 points is a lot of points.
I think I might.
That's a lot.
I think I might cover as well. Here's why I'm covering, or here's why I'm saying Indiana will cover. I think that first game of the year, we saw the Ohio State offense, which turned out to be one of the better offenses in college football last season. When they played Notre Dame game 1 last year, it struggled. I think with a new quarterback there in Kyle McCord, I think that team coming out could struggle a little bit on the offensive side of the ball, no matter what defense they're playing up against. I know IU didn't have the most notable defense. In fact, they had one of the worst defenses in college football last season. However, I think that Ohio State, maybe they come out, they struggle early, and, IU finds themselves losing by 4 touchdowns instead of 5.
The thing is, we are so far beyond this topic and idea that Ohio State could struggle with a non-incumbent quarterback coming back. But it's still there. It's still there. This is not a quarterback that got game time reps with this. I mean, granted, there were some garbage time reps for both Devin Brown and Kyle McCord. But the thing is, people are just, myself included, are done talking about Ohio State will not struggle this year because of the quarterback. If they struggle this year, it'll not be because of the quarterback. But yet again, there's still a quarterback that has not played meaningful game reps as a starter. That still is out there. But, oh man, we got to move on. Let's move on. Go Hoosiers. That's all I got to say. Go Hoosiers.
We will be there no matter what.
Hopefully the best damn band in the land will be there. I am a Michigan fan at heart, but Ohio State, the OSU marching band is truly the best damn band in the land. Shout out Dr. Hoke.
All these Michigan fans that listen and all of Candy's Michigan friends, he watches Ohio State band highlights.
I do.
Regularly.
I unapologetically watch marching band highlights. Sorry. I'm a big marching band guy.
Let's move on.
Next game is West Virginia and Penn State. So, first of all, shout out to these athletic departments for putting together a home and home on college campuses. There's 2 things that could happen here. This game could be close. There's no way West Virginia wins this game. This game could be close, as it was in the whiteout against Auburn 2 years ago. Or Penn State covers this 20.5-point spread with ease and just runs all over the field.
I'm going to go with the latter. I really love Drew Aller. I really love Nick Singleton. I like the receiving core. I think this team is going to be really, really good this year. If you're talking college football playoff predictions, if you're talking Big Ten championship, I think Penn State 100% deserves to be right in the mix there when talking about all of it, because this team is very good. They're going to have a very good offensive line. I think Drew Aller is the guy. I think that Nick Singleton is going to be one of the best running backs in college football this year. I really love this team a lot, and I think that they will cover. How many points was it?
20.5.
20.5. I think they'll cover that with ease, and I really do believe. Yeah, they cover that. They cover.
Okay. I mean, there's really nothing else to talk about. Neil Brown's on probably the hottest seat in the country. That's really it.
Let's move on then.
All right, next game is the University of North Carolina and the University of South Carolina playing at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte.
Screw neutral sites.
Granted, this is always a neutral site, but yes,
It shouldn't be.
this game should be played in Chapel Hill or Columbia. But this game will be played. College game day will be in Charlotte. Please go ahead, Jhett, please.
Well, this game I think is it's interesting to me. I've said before here, I am out on South Carolina. I don't think that they're all that great.
And that's a fair take. That's a fair take. I'm not there yet, but that's a fair take.
I'm also kind of out on this North Carolina secondary. I think that they were really bad last year. They attacked the transfer portal hard. They brought in 3 new guys in the secondary, but that's still unproven, which could be good for Spencer Rattler. With this game, a 7:30 start time, a Saturday night, this is a game that I will be watching. I'm curious to see how Drake May is going to do without guys like Josh Downs and Antoine Williams. You have Kobe Paysor, J.J. Jones. I think both those guys are going to step up in a big way. I think Devontae Walker, Kent State transfer. I think he's going to perform really well.
Is he going to play, though? Is he going to play? Isn't there a transfer issue there with Tez Walker?
I was not aware of that, if there is.
Let me check that out real quick. I think there could be a transfer waiver issue.
Well, that would stink. But I still think that they have a good enough offense.
So, a day ago from 24/7, Tez Walker status still uncertain with UNC in game week prep. So,
how is that possible? How can you not know whether you can be
well,
eligible
because he's been
or
at
not?
he was at NC Central, Kent State, and then North Carolina.
But I know, but why wouldn't they? Like, they should already know this, whether or not the kid's going to be allowed to play or not.
But this is his 3rd transfer, but without a graduate transfer, you can't do 3.
But I'm saying they should have already had this figured out. Like,
Oh,
hey,
yes, I agree as well.
Is he playing or is he not?
Yeah. So looks like he won't be playing in this game, but
That's so stupid to me. By the way, you should be able to transfer wherever you want to go.
yeah, we're past the whole transfer waiver stuff. I thought that was all gone because of the NIL transfer portal era. I thought that was all gone, but I guess not.
It should be. You should be able to transfer to whatever school you want to transfer to.
So let's take a look at this line here. North Carolina comes in as the 2.5-point favorite.
I'm hammering that. Hammer that. I would hammer that. I would hammer that.
I don't know. But I love offense in this game. 64.5 is the over under. Last time that a neutral site game against non-conference opponents was opened up in this stadium week 1 was Georgia Clemson, which totaled 17 points. Ew.
I don't know. I feel like maybe the under on the total points, but I would 100%.
I don't have a pick for this game because we don't know enough about either of these teams.
No, you got to pick a team to win. I picked North Carolina.
I'm going to go with the more proven quarterback, and that's Drake May. I'll go North Carolina. But would I be shocked if either of these teams win this game? No.
We agree on this game, but looking ahead at our next game, LSU against Florida State in Orlando. Again, screw neutral site games. This game should be on Florida State's campus. I don't care. LSU of Florida State, number 5, number 8. This is going to be game of the year.
Sunny Orlando is the site for this game. Is it still called Camping World Stadium? Don't know.
Yes, it is.
The stadium that houses the Cheez-It Bowl and formerly the Camping World Bowl and the Buffalo Wild Wings Citrus Bowl. Okay, listen. This game is going to be awesome.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait for this
It's going to be great. Anything. Please.
Oh, 100. I thought you were going to lead here. I was trying to get to.
No, you go ahead, please.
Look, I think that this is one of those
Do you
games.
want to switch the camera?
Yeah.
Want to go wide here for a second?
This is one of those games, man, where you're looking at games on the college football schedule this year, right? There's some good ones. This one right here is in the mix to be game. I know I said undoubtedly this is going to be game of the year. Maybe not undoubtedly, but this is going to be up there as one of the best games of the year. LSU right now, well, yesterday, because maybe the lines changed, LSU is favored by 2.5. ESPN had LSU as a 65% favorite for this game. I am picking in this game Florida State to win. I think that Trey Benson's going to run for 100-plus yards. LSU's run defense was not good last year. If they can just keep Daniels in the pocket, Florida State wins this game by a touchdown at least. I think that you look at Florida State had the number 4 pass defense in the league, the 74th run defense. They did not have a good run defense. They had a very good pass defense, and now you add Ventrell Cypress to the cornerback room to go along with Renardo Green and Akeem Dent. I think that this is going to be a very good secondary once more. I think that they can keep Jaden Daniels contained as far as the pass game goes. Just you got to keep him in the pocket, and Florida State wins this game. I really love Florida State this year. I think that this is one of the best teams in college football. I'm taking Florida State, and yeah, I'm taking Florida State. I know you're not, though, because you're a big LSU guy this year.
First off, before I give my take on this game, I'm loving the energy we got today, man.
I feel good,
great
man.
energy. We have all this. Can we go wide for a second? We have all this energy that's all been waiting because we watched the national championship game last year. You were at the Curry Lounge last year, and we watched this game together. And I remember after that disappointing game, I just want more. I just want more, and we're gonna get more tomorrow. We're gonna get more today. Doesn't matter when this comes out. Thursday we get more, and that's why I love this energy so much.
Also, before we forget, catch us on Twitter Spaces after the game.
Yes. Thank you.
I totally forgot to. You just mentioned it.
So, I believe after the Utah-Florida game and the Minnesota-Nebraska game, we will be on Twitter Spaces. Not sure if it'll be from the HN account, if it'll be from my account, our account. Just be on the lookout for that. We're going to be talking college football.
If it's follow us on Twitter right now in case it is. Jhett Garrett, RPCV the World versus the World.
Thank you.
Catch us right now.
It's going to be a great time. We don't expect 20,000 people there, but we're going to be talking college football, and we'd love to have you listen to us. I'm not sure if it'll be posted on the podcast channel, but swing by if you're, want to talk more college football. So thank you, Jhett, for that.
It's going to be exclusively Twitter Spaces, no podcast, so you have to be there.
Really? Whoa. Well, what if it's really good stuff we want to post it?
They got to be exclusive. They have to catch it one-time thing.
That will be to be determined. And if you made it, if you're still listening from the beginning, just want to make sure, comment, like, subscribe, rate, review on Instagram. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. On Apple, Spotify, comment, like, subscribe on YouTube. If you get any Amazon Music listeners out there, thank you. Okay.
Are we on Amazon as well?
We are on Amazon, yeah.
I
submitted that request when we first started up on Spreaker, and it was granted. I didn't even check it, and Amazon Music online is not a bad interface. Like the graphics and stuff on it are really cool. Okay, let's stop talking about that. Let's get to the game of the weekend, and that is LSU Florida State from my point of view. A couple months ago when we first started this podcast, I was all in on Florida State. Now, I was more open to LSU. Both of these teams have college football playoff rosters, coaches, and these two teams, regardless of who wins this game, we will bookmark both of these teams. This will be an LSU Florida State first podcast the rest of the year. Okay, that's hyperbole or whatever. We're going to be talking about these two teams a lot. I'm going to go with LSU here. And I don't want to make it sound like I'm discrediting Florida State in any way because I'm not. I love both of these teams so much. Both of these teams can win the national championship this year. I just feel like LSU, and I mean, it's there. Like, both of these teams can make the playoff. One can make the playoff. None can make the playoff. Because if you lose this first game, and they both got two tough road games. They got to go to Clemson and Alabama respectively. But for right now, for week 1, Sunday, September 3rd, in Orlando, sunny Orlando, Florida, I'll take LSU.
I think, and I didn't even think about that point that you just brought up. This game makes it that much more important that you have to go play at is that LSU game at Alabama? That'll be at Alabama this year, won't it?
Yes.
You have to go. Florida State has to go to Clemson. Let's say those are both losses, right?
You're not ready to hear this, but I think LSU goes to Tuscaloosa and wins. But that's a conversation for another day.
Let's just say that they lose both those games. A two-loss team is probably not getting in the playoff.
Not this year.
A one-loss team where you lose on the road against Clemson or on the road against Alabama, you might get in. You might get in if you win out and you're just a one-loss team. So it's
absolutely. No. You could be a one-loss conference champion and go to the playoff. Absolutely.
100%. So I'm saying you have to win this game.
Yeah. Sure.
I think it makes this game that much more winnable now that you brought that up. And I like that point that you just brought up. This is one of the biggest games of the year, and that we get it in week 1, it's just and this is Sunday, so there's other games going on Sunday, but this is the one you have highlighted.
Dude, if we're having fun this week, we're gonna have some fun next week previewing games. I'm scrolling down on FanDuel here.
We'll get there.
A&M, Miami, Tennessee, Florida.
No, we'll get there.
Michigan State, Washington. Okay.
This kid, man,
So
foaming at the
LSU
mouth.
is the 2.5-point favorite. That's less than a field goal. I'll take LSU. Although last year, it was a 1-point win for Florida State.
That was
a nuts game.
Happy about that. Watching Brian Kelly lose, it just made me happy.
Just let it go.
It made my day.
Just let it
He's
go.
a loser, man.
Just let it go. I'm not disagreeing with you. You got to let it go. It's over. It's the Freeman era now.
Well, that was the first ever game that he'd coached LSU, so I was excited.
Okay.
It made my day.
The over 55.5, over under 55.5. I won't make a pick there, but I like LSU minus 2.5. You're good? Last game. Clemson goes to Durham, North Carolina.
This game
Plays Mike Elko and Riley Leonard's led Duke Blue Devils. Watch out for Duke. Dad, if you're listening, I love you. Watch out for Duke.
Dude, I tell you, man, this game. I covered this game on my other podcast, and
That's
took me
2 shout-outs. We need to limit that.
I'm not shouting out the podcast. I'm just saying. I hadn't decided. I literally have no notes about this game. I'll turn around and show you that I have no notes written down about this game. These right here are just edit purposes. I have no notes about this game because I am so undecided on it. I guess I just revealed who I'm going to pick, and I'm going to pick Clemson.
Oh, I thought you were going to pick Duke.
I don't have the guts to do it.
The way that you were talking Riley Leonard, I thought you were talking Duke.
I don't have the guts, man. I want to so badly. What's the spread? Find me the spread on this game because
Clemson is favored 12.5.
I'm gonna take Duke to cover that.
100%.
I think Duke can win this game. I think they can make it close. I'm gonna be so disappointed on Tuesday when we come to record or Wednesday, whenever it is. I'll be so disappointed if Duke wins this game, and I wanted to do it so badly and didn't have the guts to pull the trigger. I'm going to take Clemson just because of the defense alone.
I just want to say something. Disclaimer. We're not actually betting. These are just our picks. So I just wanted to make that out there. We were given the green light to talk about lines and predictions and stuff like that, but we do not bet. But these are just what the sports book is saying right now. So just wanted to make that clear.
W clearing up so we don't go to jail. Great. No sports betting is taking place here. Just looking at spreads and stuff. It's more so just saying how close the games are going to be and how close we think the games are.
Because you can't talk about these games and not look at that stuff nowadays.
I agree.
But no, we do not. We will not be gambling on these games. No.
But I believe that Duke can very well win this game. I really like Riley Leonard. I really like the receiving core. I really like the running back room. I want to take Duke so bad. It's going to keep me up at night if I don't pick Duke in this game and they end up winning.
Yeah, I mean, as of right now, I don't want to talk about Clemson. I don't like Clemson at all. But they'll win this game. But Duke will cover. Riley Leonard needs some respect. The respect that I was not aware of that he deserved in the summer when we were talking about this. When you had Riley Leonard in your top 3 of your ACC quarterback, I didn't even have him on my list. So that's kind of So I talked about my respect given to Riley Leonard. What about your respect for Tagovailoa? He wasn't even in your list.
I was getting
Riley Leonard wasn't in my list for their respective conferences.
I was getting hate from that. JMO was on my case for that one. Look, I think that Talia Tagovailoa is an okay quarterback. I do think this isn't the Big Ten preview, but I will say that I think Taulia is slightly a little overrated. I don't know.
Okay, so we finished up with Clemson and Duke, correct?
Yes.
We good there? Shout out Bo Collins, a receiver at Clemson, Beaux, the best name in college football. And funny story. So my mom sent me a Instagram reel, and it was talking about the best names in college football. She says that her favorite name in college football is Kool-Aid McKinstry. Congratulations, Kool-Aid McKinstry.
I was going to say it was going to be General Booty, who just signed an underwear. Did you see he signed an underwear NIL deal today?
Listen, I'm not going to wish for an injury. I'm just going to wish for Dylan Gabriel to have a really bad year so that we get a taste of General Booty.
I don't think that's going to happen, though. I think Dylan Gabriel's very, very good.
I know. Okay. So we finished up the game previews. Now, let's do some individual awards for the season. We're going to go... Here, I'll just call them out because due to, importance and stuff like that, they're listed in non-importance order. So let's start with... So some of these... So bear with me here. I only wrote the individual awards where I know the names of the awards. So, for example, the Butkus Award is on here. The Biletnikoff Award is on here. The Thorpe Award is on here. The Davey O'Brien Award. And the, is it the Doak Walker Award for the running back? You know what I mean. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know any of the names. I know the Butkus, I know the Biletnikoff, but
Okay. Well, let's get right into it. Who is the best defensive back in college football? If it's Benjamin Morrison,
Morrison, baby.
Okay, because I go with Will Johnson, because that's going to look really bad on us, because I say Will Johnson.
I like Ben Morrison a lot. He is the best.
Okay, but take a look at Will Johnson's Pro Football Focus, whatever it's called, ranking.
PFF doesn't matter, bro. PFF and Notre Dame is always highly rated in the PFF, but PFF is, I think they're really bad at what they do. I don't think that they.
Wow.
The ratings are so bad. PFF rankings are terrible. They're so bad. They don't matter.
Sorry, my goodness. I really don't like picking someone who is not draft eligible to win a postseason award, but I just love Will Johnson a lot. If I had to pick someone who is draft eligible, if I had to pick someone that was draft eligible, not named Kool-Aid McKinstry, I would go with Kalen King.
I didn't even consider Kool-Aid McKinstry for this.
That's awful.
He's not good.
My mom isn't gonna like that.
Just watch. This year when Kool-Aid McKinstry doesn't have a good year or he's overrated, come back.
Sorry, Mom. Okay, next
Great name, though. Great name.
Next award. Who is the best linebacker in college football? I think ready? You want to do it on three?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Harold Perkins.
Jeremiah Trotter. I was going to go Harold Perkins. It was between him and Trotter, but I knew you were going Perkins, so I wanted something different.
Okay, I like that. What is it? Parody or whatever? I don't know. I like the different
Two different perspectives.
Sure. The best receiver in college football is, my answer. Who's your answer?
Marvin Harrison Jr.
The answer is Rome Odunze. Yeah. Best running back in college football is?
Go ahead.
Blake Corum. Honorable mentions to
Quinshon Judkins over here.
And Nick Singleton.
No, I didn't have. No, Quinshon Judkins not honorable mention. He's a number one.
No, he's an honorable mention.
No, for me, number one.
He is the honorable mention. Quinshon Judkins and Nick Singleton are honorable mentions.
I literally have Quinshon Judkins written in here. Actually, he's my best running back in the country, actually.
So we're not going to do the Davey O'Brien Award because we have, let's be honest, we're going to have a good amount of quarterbacks in our Heisman 4. Who is the coach of the year in college football?
I've got it down to 2 guys.
Okay.
And I'm just going
if neither of them are not my guy, I'm going to be mad at you.
I don't know if they will be. I'm trying to do something, it's easy to say, I think coach of the year is always guys that you maybe don't expect to win. You think anyone had Sonny Dykes win coach of the year last year? He won coach of the year, right? Yeah.
He should have. If he didn't,
I'm pretty sure he did.
Bad.
No one had Sonny Dykes winning coach of the year last year.
Nobody had Jim Harbaugh winning coach of the year in 2021.
No one ever
Neither
has.
did I.
No, stop.
All right, I'm going to stop making this about Michigan. Who are your 2 guys? Go.
I've got either James Franklin or Dan Lanning. to win Coach of the Year this year, just based upon team success.
I don't
think
like James Franklin, but Dan Lanning, I would love to be proved wrong on my Dan Lanning take.
I think that they're both going to have. I think Penn State and Oregon are going to have very good years, and obviously that always goes back.
You know
to
what? I'll give two guys as well.
Who's your number one though?
My number one, Mike. This coach will win Coach of the Year, and you can come at me. You can say whatever you want. This man will win Coach of the Year. You will not change my opinion. It's Luke Fickell.
I don't think so.
I don't think this is a debate kind of segment, but I'm willing to debate on this. Why not Luke Fickell?
Because Wisconsin's like not going to have I'm not saying Luke Fickell's a bad coach, but I don't think they're going to have like. When I say not a great year, I'm saying like 8-4, 9-3.
Wisconsin. I have Wisconsin going 11-1.
Yeah, no, that's 11-1. Not going to happen.
10-2 at the least.
That's not gonna, that's crazy.
If they beat Ohio State, they have a good chance of going undefeated. I'm telling you right now.
Let's look down.
You know what? Luke Fickell should just win Coach of the Year just because he hired Phil Longo.
Well, look. Okay, let's see here. Buffalo. Let's find a loss here. I think at Purdue's a tough game.
It's not a loss.
Ohio State. I mean, Iowa. They have a chance to go 10-2.
Okay, listen though.
11-1.
If your toughest game of the year is at home against a top 5 opponent, if you lose that game, you get a pass. You're first-year head coach against the team you played for.
You win, Kenny.
I know I win.
You win.
My other guy I was going to talk about was Mike Norvell.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Heisman 4. Go ahead, Jhett.
Oh, gosh. I can't cut it. I was going to tell myself I was going to cut it down to 4 by the time we got done, but I just can't. So I'm just going to do the first 4 guys that got listed here because I felt like I had 2 guys listed outside, Quinn Ewers and Jared Verse. I didn't feel like I needed to do all quarterbacks, but I do have all quarterbacks here.
It's a shame. It's a shame.
It is a shame.
You're not gonna get marked down for it.
Caleb Williams, obviously. Michael Penix, I think those are 2 obvious guys. Bo Nix. Let's go Bo Nix. And Sam Hartman. Because Sam Hartman's the best quarterback in college. Sam Hartman's going to win it. So I'm going to circle Sam Hartman. Okay, so we got 3
Pac-12 and an independent.
Marvin Harrison Jr. realistically is in there, though. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, see, after I give I want to just go through players that can all make the Heisman. We'll just shout out players. We'll just do a little impromptu in or out on players that can make the Heisman. Okay?
Okay.
But here are my 4. I kind of forgot, but I got it now. Blake Corum.
Yeah.
Michael Penix Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Hartman.
W.
And Caleb Williams. He's gonna be the 4th guy.
I thought you weren't gonna put Caleb Williams.
I hate being, I do think that Caleb is the best player in college football right now. But the thing is, I really don't want to have a duplicate Heisman winner. I don't want to have another one.
I mean, everyone knows that it's Caleb Williams is going to be there. So that's why I thought I didn't want to put him in and just put another, because I would have let me put Quinn Ewers in because, my Quinn Ewers agenda, but.
I like it. I like it. Okay, so here's what we're going to do now. This is an impromptu segment. We're going to name 5 players each. I'm going to go back and forth until we get to 10 players total. Give me a player that is not eligible because they're all eligible. Give me a player that is not talked about enough, but could be a Heisman Trophy winner/finalist.
First one I'm going to give you here, this is off the top of my head. I know what you're going to say to this. I just want to hear your explanation for it. Emeka Egbuka.
If he did not share the offense with Marvin Harrison Jr. and Carnell Tate, I would say yes. But due to distribution of wealth, which is why I don't have Marvin Harrison Jr. in the Biletnikoff race as my winner, distribution of wealth will kill the individual awards season for Ohio State.
Okay.
They'll have a lethal offense by every stretch of the imagination. They'll have a lethal offense. However, no Ohio State receiver will win an individual award.
I don't hate that take.
Okay, thank you. I was rather harsh on Emeka Egbuka after saying he's overrated.
You were.
I'm not saying he's overrated. Just people are saying that he's like number 2 to Marvin Harrison's 1
in the whole grand scheme of college football wide receiver rankings.
I don't
feel
hate
like
that.
We don't. Whatever. Okay. But that's a conversation for another day. That's like a week 4. That's like a week 4 conversation when we get to like a narrowing down. Like, because this pack is going to either get narrowed down more or it's going to be spread out more.
I think it's going to get spread out.
Really?
I think it's going to.
Well,
get
I like
spread
that a lot.
There's so
Okay.
many good receivers.
My next player is. Oh man, the part about this being impromptu is that I have to come up with these players on the fly, but I have one. DJ Uiagalelei.
No, he might have a good year. I do think he will have a good year, but I don't think that he's gonna be Heisman worthy.
And also, I'm on the same train as you, which I'll say this. Just name a player that has hype. I'm not saying that it has to be a player that you would have specifically. Just say a player that you want to talk about. So like a player that we can debate about. It does not necessarily have to be a shoe-in one of your 5 players.
Okay, so I have to give you a player and then you're going to tell me yes or no?
We can both give a yes or no. Just make sure it's a player that is worth talking about. Yes.
Audric Estime was my next guy.
No. Sure, he looked fast. in the Navy game, but no. There's 10 running backs I'd have over Audric Estime. And Frank Gore Jr. is one of them.
I don't know about 10, but...
Here we go. Ready? Blake Corum, Donovan Edwards, Trevion Henderson, Mayan Williams. There's 7 in the Big Ten right there over Audric Estime.
Estime's better than
Phil
Henderson
Maffa, Will Shipley are up there. Jace McClellan's up there.
No.
Okay.
Estime's top 7.
Nakia Watson's up there. So no to Audric Estime, no.
Go ahead, your turn.
My turn. I just had one. Oh my goodness. I just had it. Crap. You know what? Travis Hunter.
Yes, and here's why. Like we said, if this kid is playing both sides of the ball,
I have one.
And he has a good year both sides of the ball. When's the last time a guy did that?
Charles Woodson.
Oh, yeah. So it's been a while. That's been a while. So I think absolutely, if Travis Hunter has a good year both sides of the ball, it's gonna be tough to leave him out. So then my next player for you, and I'm just spitballing here, okay? Olu Fashanu.
I refuse to believe that a offensive lineman will be a Heisman finalist.
That was why I asked. That was why I presented the question.
Will Olu Fashanu make a statement to possibly be the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft? 100%. Heisman finalist? No.
Okay.
Next player.
I was curious how you felt.
Next player.
I've given you 3, and my next one's gonna be.
No. For me.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. I was like,
Sorry. Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Glad we're on that train. Next for you, please.
Johnny Wilson.
Oh, you know how I feel about Johnny.
6'7" monster.
You know how I feel about Johnny. It'll be tough, but yes, I'm on that train. I buy Johnny Wilson.
I like Johnny.
I buy Johnny Wilson. And part of the whole distribution of wealth for Florida State also is why I don't have Johnny Wilson winning the Biletnikoff. Because the thing about Ohio State, as I said earlier, with Emeka Ibuka, Carnell Tate, Julian Fleming, Brandon Inniss for Ohio State, for Florida State, you have Jaheim Bell, Keon Coleman, all going up against Johnny Wilson. And that's why I have Roma Dunze as the Biletnikoff, because he will be the only guy basically catching balls for Michael Penix. But we went on that tangent. We don't need to go down that path again. But Johnny Wilson, yes.
Okay.
He could be a Heisman finalist.
I like it.
Not a winner, but a finalist, yes. My next player, Frank Harris.
Oh yeah. We just talked
what
about.
Do you mean?
I was like, who is that? We just talked about him. UTSA, 100%, dude, 100%. I don't know how that just slipped my mind, but we literally just
For
talked
those
about
who
him.
didn't see it, Jhett.
I just looked at him and I was like, who is that?
Jhett mouthed to me. He goes, "Who the heck is that?" And I'm like, "What?"
No, that was. I don't know how we literally were just talking about him. No, 100%, dude.
Okay.
He counted for 41 touchdowns last year. Here's my last one. Here's why it's my last one.
Jared Verse. Yes.
Well, not Jared Verse. I love Jared Verse.
I have a banger for the next one. I have a banger for the last one.
We're going to assume that Caleb Williams is a Heisman finalist.
Yes.
When was the last time that 2 teammates were both Heisman finalists?
Oh, I know this. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my gosh. 2020. Devontae Smith and Mac Jones.
So it hadn't been that long. Okay, so we're going to have a similar scenario here. Dorian Singer.
No. Distribution of wealth.
Any receiver on USC.
No. Distribution of wealth.
Okay.
No. I like how we're going back to this take that I had. Distribution of wealth will kill powerful offenses.
I think yes. I think that there are multiple guys in here that could be Heisman candidates receiver-wise for USC.
And I'll say it right now here, with the whole distribution of wealth thing, that could totally plague Blake Corum.
That's why I had Quinshon Judkins over Blake Corum.
You know what? I like that. Okay, are you ready for this final one?
Can't wait.
It's not like an absolute meme of a player, but it's a player that you would not expect or,
Oh, God.
wouldn't want to be a Heisman finalist. Would you be shocked if Carson Beck is a Heisman finalist or winner?
Yeah, I would be very shocked. Well, actually, no, I wouldn't. No, I don't think I would.
I wouldn't be shocked, but I would hate the guts out of a Heisman finalist as the first-year Georgia quarterback. I would hate it.
Why? If he has a good year.
Okay, but look who he's throwing the ball to. Stetson proved that he was a Heisman finalist. I feel like the whole you're throwing to 5 stars and 4 stars and Darnell Washington, Brock Bowers. I feel like that whole agenda is out the door after Stetson has done it for 2 years in a row. It'll take a lot for me to get on the Carson Beck Heisman train.
Well, I don't think we should get to the foregone conclusion that if it is him, that it's undeserving, and it's only because he's a Georgia quarterback. If he has a great year, I think he should be in the conversation just as much as the next guy.
Okay. Are we good?
I'm good off all that.
Dude, go wide. That was a lot. That was a lot. How long have we been on here? Like an hour 20?
11, but
that's a lot shorter than I thought. It feels like we've been in here for 3 hours.
That'll get cut down.
All right. First of all, thank you for listening in any capacity. If you're listening just to the end, just to the beginning, all the way through, we want to thank you so much. I'm going to get this right. Comment, like, subscribe on YouTube. Share, like, download, Spotify. Rate, review, download, add to your library on Apple Podcasts. Is that it?
Did you shout out YouTube?
YouTube, yes.
Amazon Music.
Amazon Music. If you're on Amazon Music, guy, shout out to you. Follow me on Twitter at RPC vs. the World. He's Jhett Garrett on Twitter. Jhett.Garrett on TikTok.
Off the tracks on YouTube.
Enjoy your college football smorgasbord this weekend.
The next time we talk to you, week 1 will be complete, probably, right? Well, I guess Twitter Spaces.
Okay.
Catch us on Twitter
Spaces, and maybe post LSU Florida State. We'll talk.
I would be in for that.
Here's what we're going to do now. I'm going to say go blue. You're going to say go Irish. And then on 3, a silent count of 3, we're going to say go Hoosiers. Okay, ready?
Okay.
We're not going to edit that out. That was fun. Okay, ready? Go blue.
Go Irish.
Go Hoosiers. We love college football. We love the Hoosier Network. We will see you tomorrow night on Twitter Spaces.
Go get some good fellas.